I'm Amanda Husgard. I'm the curator of The Future and Other Fictions here at ACME. The Future and Other Fictions is an exhibition that showcases 180 works across screen culture, from everything from screen-based art, video games, film and television. We've brought together about 20 makers from across the globe to really reimagine and think about what the future can be. The exhibition affirms that we are all active future makers and explores the idea that the future is ours to make and create. Behind me are the Bigatures from Blade Runner 2049. They were created by the incredible team at Weta Workshop in Aotearoa, New Zealand. The artists and the makers at Weta Workshop worked with creatives and film directors off-site in Europe. So it's a really beautiful and interesting collaboration of how we can come together and make these worlds on screen collectively and collaboratively. Also behind me is the work of Oleki and JFS. And this is a really beautiful example of thinking about communities who may be living in poverty or slums in the town of Lagos in Nigeria. So Lake is an African-American artist who really wanted to flip the script or flip the idea of what it means to be someone living in a community where you might be experiencing poverty. So Lake, through his beautiful work behind me called the Anaconauts, he reimagines these wonderful characters in community as sci-fi renegades, and they're resourceful and they resist this idea that they're disenfranchised or that they don't actually have the power to create their own future. So we have an array of these beautiful large-scale photo collages, which are actually taken from real people who live in the communities in Africa where Lake was born. And it really shifts the idea and shifts the script and positions these leaders of community with the power and the resources and the ability to shape their worlds. And that is really one of the massive questions that we're asking or posing with this exhibition, particularly in this section, which really asks what worlds exist on screen and who holds the power. So one of the key themes of the show is really resistance and this idea of self-representation. And so what we've done is we've brought together artists who may not have existed in storytelling. It's a sci-fi show in the sense that it presents the different tropes of science fiction, but then it flips them, like I said. So we have a number of artists like Lake in the show that really champion their stories and position themselves as someone who is, their stories are really important. And it's this idea of you can see yourself in the future, then you can make it. We also have featured in the show the beautiful costumes developed by Ruthie Carter, who is a self-described Afro-punk and Afrofuturist. So Afrofuturism is an idea where African culture and African people write themselves into the story. And this is essentially what this section of the exhibition is about. It creates a space for artists and communities and change makers to write themselves in the story. And so with Wakanda Forever, it's an incredible film. It's a superhero film, which has all of the kind of battles and good and evil and all those elements that you would expect in a superhero film. But the point of this work and this imagining really is about the idea of an abundant, beautiful African culture and African land that exists that hasn't been colonized. We have a Black Panther costume which featured in Civil War, and we have 3 beautiful costumes from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We also showcase the works of Jack Kirby, who was an early comic book maker. Jack first developed the concept of Black Panther. So we have this beautiful display where we link the kind of idea of page to screen. And through this process of showcasing different makers and different artists and the tools that they've used to kind of create these worlds on screen, we really hope that it creates inspiration and empowerment for young people and for communities and for audiences to really take hold of this idea that the future is ours to make and create, and it's a call to action. One of my highlights in the show is the work of Björk. Björk is an Icelandic pop singer and came from the Sugar Cubes. She works obviously as a singer and a filmmaker, but she's someone that is also an environmental activist. So that's why we've chosen to have Björk featured in the show. The work that we have featured is called The Gate. She developed the work with an artist who's based in America called Andrew Thomas Huang, and another artist called James Merry, and of course Alessandra Michelle. So the four of them came together to create this abundant post-apocalyptic idea of rewilding in this beautiful world that is The Gate. Andrew was the creative director of the film. He worked alongside James, as I said, to create these beautiful masks and headpieces which are really inspired by country and the environment and nature. And then Alessandra developed this beautiful holographic gown which took 550 hours to embroider. So we hope that you will come and experience the exhibition, The Future and Other Fictions at ACME, and are inspired by the many worlds and stories that are on display here, because the future is yours to create.